here I amongst many who came up with reasons why the WWE brand split is a disaster. So here we go. But before here are honorable mentions. Mention number 1. It's been done before and was scrapped. Mention number 2. Ryback and Cody Rhodes left WWE and WWE fired Damian Sandow and their fans will follow them wherever they go. Mention number 3. WWE is not TV14 anymore. Mention 4. The logos are garbage. And mention number 5. Only the retarded Indie Fanboys asked for this bullshit. Now let's get on the list. Number 15. Ratings. Recently Raw had a 2.05 in the ratings 3 weeks ago, and it's not even NFL season or NHL season. SmackDown had a 1.69 in the ratings. Now SmackDown is on Tuesday, and if there's a hockey game on that night, your ass ain't gonna be watching SmackDown. WWE will never again produce the ratings it used to have during the TV14 era. You know the days John Cena was able to turn heel. Number 14. Pay-per-views on paper. Separate pay-per-view events for Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live look great on paper, as this formula once worked well for the company and maintained the feeling that the Big Four were truly special. On September 11th, 2016, SmackDown Live will present the first Blue Brand exclusive pay-per-view from the Richmond Coliseum in Richmond, Virginia. The event, an old WWE staple known as Backlash. This particular pay-per-view was once presented as the first event following WrestleMania and would usually include a number of high-level rematches. It appears as though WWE will attempt to duplicate this concept in the wake of SummerSlam. On paper this sounds good. In practice this event will likely disappoint everyone. Number 13. Time it takes casual fans to watch. In recent years, the casual WWE user attained their weekly fix as such. Watch Monday Night Raw, forget about SmackDown, find out if anything of significance occurred on the B show via the internet or recap on Raw. To begin with, Monday Night Raw is too long at 3 hours. However, even if a fan wanted to watch SmackDown, the program would air Thursday/Friday night, depending on the year. While 5 hours of WWE programming over the course of 2 days seems excessive, think about a pay-per-view week, 3 hours on Sunday, another 3 on Monday, and then 2 more on Tuesday. 8 hours in 3 days? The equivalent of an entire day's work, and now with a small as fuck roster on Raw it means more bullshit filler moments. I would need to use Billy Mays, also known as Nintendo Sucks Guys Nobody Cares song. Number 12. Overall interest levels. Even the most die-hard wrestling fans can grow frustrated with the product, especially when it does not live up to their standards, and it never does. Therefore, it is safe to assume that overall can drop. Getting someone excited about watching wrestling is no easy task. There is a great deal of difficulty that comes along with convincing a person that watching half-naked men grapple over predetermined stipulations is worthwhile. In general, less people care about wrestling in 2016 than they did in 2002, the year of the original brand extension. Which is why this split has proven to be a high-risk situation. Of course, should success follow, the rewards will be high as well. However, what are the odds of general interest rates increasing in the immediate future? Number 11. Boring chants chanting boring. At Lance Storm was once a popular thing among WWE fans. However, this act was also entertaining, and not a byproduct of the entertainment itself. There is a major difference here. During Lana and Rusev's long post-wedding reenactment segment on Monday Night Raw. Wait, you hear hear that? It's the Nobody Cares song. With this new era and new direction, WWE cannot afford to make anything boring. The entire point of the brand extension was to provide a fresh take on the product. Such chants are certainly not complimentary. Oh my god, we're in the large shit now. Let's continue. Number 10. Match quality. Yes, there have been some exceptional matches since the brand extension was implemented, but matches as such will continue to take place regardless of any roster split. When watching Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, or Seth Rollins, these bouts will happen. On the flip side, match quality as a whole has shifted. Monday Night Raw promises 2 squash matches each episode as they attempt to build Braun Strowman and Nia Jax into unstoppable forces, respectively. Over on SmackDown Live, the Blue Brand has pieced together their own women's division. However, SmackDown's version of female wrestling has felt significantly less important than the action on Monday Night Raw. Poor matches equal poor overall quality for both brands involved. Number 9. Women on SmackDown. As alluded to in the previous entry, SmackDown Live has presented the WWE Universe with its own exclusive crop of female wrestlers. However, it has become rather clear that Monday Night Raw holds the best female talents. With Sasha Banks, the best women's wrestler in WWE right now, currently holding the Women's Championship, the bar has definitely been set high. Perhaps too high. Even if SmackDown Live creates its own women's title, it will feel inferior. The real female wrestlers should have remained on the same brand, at least for now. The idea of equality between the brands is great, but it's also not practical. Women's wrestling is a growing movement in WWE and needs more focus. Placing all the proper talent on one brand would help this process move along. Number 8. Returns have been weak. Kurt Angle, Rey Mysterio, Jeff Hardy. These were only some of the names mentioned in the rumor mill in anticipation of the WWE brand extension. And then, on draft night, who returned to the company? Nobody. Since then, WWE has brought back Jinder Mahal to little response and attempted to use Shelton Benjamin on SmackDown Live as a veteran superstar. That was until Benjamin found himself injured prior to his return. Needless to say, these returns have been less than satisfying for WWE fans. Where are the big names from the past? Yes, this is a new era, but a little bit of old school never hurt anybody without direct intention. Perhaps these returns will improve in the coming months. Number 7. Thrill is gone. What an exciting day it was when WWE announced that SmackDown was set to go live. Woohoo! And with that, the second coming of the brand extension. Leading up to the big night in July, the internet was suffocated with speculation. And then the night came along, and with a split, hope for a brand new WWE. The kind of WWE that would take fans higher than they had ever been before. A new kind of buzz to reinvigorate the hopeless fan. However, the thrill was a cheap one at best, and the buzz has quickly subsided or worn off entirely for many fans. Those goosebumps and the tingling of spines have ceased as we moved forward into the new era. Such is the way of the world. Thrills are cheap and fast, and nothing ever lasts. Number 6. The McMahon siblings. At this point, are fans really that invested in the Shane and Stephanie McMahon? The shocking return of Shane to WWE earlier this year came as a major surprise and delighted the WWE Universe. However, small doses of Shane McMahon could definitely prove more effective than massive amounts of the Boy Wonder. And the same can be said for Stephanie McMahon. The siblings have occupied far too much airtime. WWE fans can and will quickly turn on the McMahon family, and Shane is no exception. The McMahons constantly making themselves the focal point of programming could prove disastrous in the end. And don't get me started on Triple H when the Authority was a fucking storyline. Number 5. Invasions. Brock Lesnar vs. Randy Orton at SummerSlam was made official prior to the WWE draft. While Lesnar was drafted to Monday Night Raw, Orton was chosen to compete on SmackDown Live. So, an interpromotional match was already set to take place following draft night, and that was fine as long as WWE kept Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton away from one another until SummerSlam. It is far too early in the process for brand invasions, but of course each man would appear on the other's program. The ideal time to have one confrontation between Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton would have been the Battleground pay-per-view. One brand should not have anybody, including Daniel Bryan, appear on the other. This was a retarded match. We all knew Brock was going to take Randy to Suplex City. Number 4. Daniel Bryan is now corporate. I don't care what you think, he sucked as a wrestler in his time as a wrestler. He's done nothing but cry, whine, bitch, piss, and moan, and his fans are also shitheads too. Daniel Bryan had the Occupy Raw, so he'd headline WrestleMania 30, which was the absolute worst, not just because Undertaker lost to Brock, who shouldn't have even broke the streak. Also because Daniel Bryan had to fight Triple H so he could be the contender for a triple threat against Orton and Batista. Batista should have won the title, not that fucking crybaby trash. If you can't understand what I said, it means Daniel Bryan is annoying. Number 3. Thin roster, sure. WWE pulled some fish out of the NXT pond to help with the brand extension, but all in all, both shows have been spread thin with the recent split. This could help or hinder superstars in the long run. But what happens when there's too many injuries? With less talent on each brand, the opportunity to step up presents itself. However, this thin talent pool will also cause WWE to second-guess their decisions. Don't believe that? Wait until WrestleMania rolls around and the part-timers return. Number 2. Lack of megastar power. In 2002, the original brand extension was incredible. This was due in large part to the extensive number of megastars involved. The Rock, The Undertaker, Kurt Angle, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Hulk Hogan were all drafted. Add the free agency of Stone Cold, Steve Austin, and Triple H serving as WWE Undisputed Champion, available for both rosters, into the equation, and the brand extension was a huge hit. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, the first and second choices, are holding their own in WWE, but the only true megastars drafted during the recent brand extension were Brock Lesnar and John Cena. Stars continue to rise in 2016, but are not as prominent as 2002. And finally, number 1. Raw vs. SmackDown. There is one thing that will never change in WWE as it pertains to programming. Monday Night Raw will forever be considered the top show. Raw has been labeled the company's flagship program, for a reason. SmackDown Live has steam, but not enough to truly power the train ahead of Monday Night Raw. Even with John Cena on board, the company's biggest star, SmackDown remains the B show in WWE. Until SmackDown feels as though it stands on the same level as Monday Night Raw, there will always be problems. As I mentioned before, it was done before and it was scrapped. This brand split is a joke, and I hope WWE kills the brand split. Until then, I will not be watching Raw or SmackDown until WWE kills the split. And neither should anyone with a functioning brain. You indie fanboys need to shut the fuck up and enjoy WWE with both shows under one roster. If they wanted a wrestling company to do a brand split, go watch the sinking ship that is called TNA. At least Dixie Carter is retarded enough to do it immediately.
Welcome to Capital Tonight. I'm Liz Benjamin. Hillary will win the election despite
Liz
email
Benjamin,
scandals,
shut the
and I
fuck up.
support
Hillary
her all
is
the
a
way.
lying
I'll
scum
support
and
anything
would have
she
us
does.
all
Vote
killed
Hillary
by her
with
millions or Syrian
and I
refugees.
know she will be a great
Do
president.
your fucking research before
I'll
you
have a
spread
party
your
and I'll
biased
invite her
liberal
to go
ass
skinny
cheeks.
dipping too.
Oh wait, you won't because you're a liberal. Good, go skinny dipping with her. I'll be taking pictures and post them online. Look behind you, Liz.